Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you look right here, we're actually up in the air a little sideways today. Today I'm going to be doing the part 2 on how to fix your stock exhaust. I've been messing with this thing. We did the downpipe recently, replaced the rotten flex pipe section. And of course, when you plug up one hole with a fix, another one finds its way out. If you look down here, we actually have the shield around the stock catalytic converter, and there was actually a hole in it. So I went down underneath and I started hitting it with a pry bar, and sure enough, the thing disintegrated into pieces. And I found a couple more holes on the cap. And like I told you in a previous video, I do have an inspection coming up shortly. We had to do a little bit of a rear subframe repair. There was a couple of holes in the back. They said it was about a 50-cent piece size hole. I only found a hole that was about the size of maybe a nickel, maybe a little larger. It wasn't too bad. So today what I'm going to try to show you guys how to do is, if you have your downpipe modified so you can take it off, if you have it clamped on to the rest of your exhaust system, you should see underneath the car that the majority of your exhaust hangers are rubber. Some of them are bolted on, some of them are just pushed over hooks. So hopefully today, what we're going to be able to do is slip all of the catalytic converter back, all of the muffler hangers right off, and I'm going to try to pull this exhaust system out. We have to disconnect the O2 sensor, which is always fun, and I want to slide it back right over here in the driveway. And in case you're curious, the lake has gotten a little bit smaller. You can actually get around it now, but I'm going to clean this area up real fast with a leaf blower and a broom, and we're going to get started pulling some exhaust stuff off. Should be a real fun time. Nothing like exhaust work. So let's get after it. Okay guys, so we're under the car here. I just wanted to show you right over here. That's our pile of destroyed catalytic converter cover. Right up here is our O2 sensor. I took a 7/8 box end wrench, set it up on here, and I gave it a big whack with a hammer after I heated up the edges of the bung right around the outside rim of it, all the way around very carefully with a propane torch. And actually, as you can see, I can get onto it, cracked right free. She is unscrewing nice and slowly. So once that's out of the way, looks like we have, let's see, we got one up front there. There's a rubber hanger. So we got one, we've got two, we've got 3 and 4, 5, about 6 rubber hangers underneath here. So I don't think I'm going to be able to film this part, but if you look right here, they're just slid over those posts. So I'm going to take a little WD-40 and spray right inside of there where you can slip it off, so I can loosen it up just a little bit. And I'm going to take a pry bar and start slipping these things off one by one by one. And up front, I just have to, where are they? I have to, let me zoom in and show you. Those 2 exhaust clamps on the downpipe right there, I just have to loosen those up with a 14mm wrench. And once that's all set, I should be able to slide this whole system off the bottom of the car from that point back to the muffler. So yeah, I'm going to take this O2 sensor out real fast and get after it. So after a little bit of persuasion, guys, we got this exhaust system from actually the downpipe. I had to disconnect from the manifold, and those are all the rubber hangers sticking out. I got to pull it out a couple more feet here, but as you can see, we got a little bit of rust on the top of the muffler. That's not really the problem. The problem is in between this resonator here and this resonator, there's a couple of holes, and then further under there, that's the catalytic converter just sticking its way out. That's got a couple of holes also. So we've got our 24 gauge sheet metal or welder helmet, and we're gonna start cleaning some of these spots off and patching them up, so this thing will be a little bit more quiet and hopefully we'll pass inspection. So the part that looks like it's pretty rough here is this little section between the 2 resonators. So what I'm going to do is try to get these old hangers off that are just kind of sitting on there all rusty. I'm going to try to clean off some of this rust with my wire wheel on my drill bit, or my wire wheel drill bit right there. If I could only talk. And then once I get all those off, I'm going to clean off a couple of areas that I find some holes at, and I'm just going to start working from one side to the other. And hopefully we can get this thing cleared off enough to get a couple of good welding surfaces on it. And if I can get that done, we should have a nice quiet exhaust. I'm going to use some of the steel over here with my tin snips, and I'm going to cut a couple of sections out. I've got a couple other 2¼ inch exhaust pipes and a couple of 2½ inch exhaust pipe pieces that I'm going to use to cut little rings out to weld around them. And obviously this is not the optimal fix, but again, this is me trying to save a few dollars just so I can pass my inspection, and once that's over, we can replace from the downpipe back. And I do have an inbound catalytic converter coming right now. It's a 2½ inch, and this full system is 2¼ so there's a little dilemma there. But what I plan on doing is, from the part that we already fixed, going from there to the cat, I'm going to make a 2½ inch or maybe even a 3 inch straight section, because for the most part a straight pipe will fit with those rubber hangers, it looks like. Then I'll put my 2½ inch catalytic converter in, and then I'm going to hopefully be able to have a shop bend. I'll cut it off right there behind the cat and have a shop make an exact copy out of 2½ inch and run it back to a new muffler, and we'll get rid of all these old rusty components that we have here. So right now I'm going to throw you guys off to the side. I'm going to start cleaning this thing off and start doing some welding. Well, folks, it's starting to get a little dark out here, so we're going to call it a night. But we've got a patch there. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to brush off the crap and the slag. Got a nice big patch there that took real good. Let's see. There was a couple on the other side of that, I believe. There's one right here that we patched with another piece of that 22 gauge. And the last one that I found is right there. So I'm hoping that this is gonna quiet this thing up. I didn't find any other holes on the catalytic converter. I thought there was some, but apparently it was just that hole right here in the front. That was a nice big crack. I'm just gonna slide this thing up out of the car for the night, come back to it tomorrow morning, and we're gonna see if there's any other little spots that need to get buzzed shut, and from there we're gonna hook it back up to the car. We'll get back to this in the morning, so see you then. We're gonna get all these hangers put back up. We're gonna get this exhaust that's finally patched back up. Everything seems to be sealed. There should not be any huge gaping holes like there was earlier in the week when I started this little project here. But we're gonna hook up the downpipe, our O2 sensor, all the rubber hangers from the muffler up to the front of the vehicle. We're gonna get this jack lowered, the jack stands yanked out, crank down the wheel lugs that we took off, and we're gonna fire this puppy up, and hopefully she's 99% quieter than she was to start with. All right, so what we're gonna do is get every one of these little rubber hangers. There's one here, one on the back there. Well, there's actually 3 on the muffler itself, and we're gonna spray it, each one of the eyelets, with a little bit of silicone. And I'm gonna get my pry bar out. We're gonna start hanging the muffler, and we're just gonna work our way forward until we get up to the downpipe. Then all we have to do is put our gasket on, put the 2 downpipe bolts in, and the bracket on the front, back to the front of the motor there, and we should be done. So I'm gonna stick you guys over here on the side and start this fun process. So far I got the jack underneath here. If you look, I don't know if you can see it that well, but we've got it attached at the muffler. The next 3 hooks, one in the middle, one by the jack, one on the other side of the jack, one up front behind the downpipe, and then I just have to bolt up this downpipe here. Once that's done, we're gonna fire her up and hear how she sounds. I found a little solution to my problem, I believe. Harbor Freight. $30. It's got a kind of a drop to it. You see the wheels are pushed up further, so you're not raised up off the ground. It's kind of sunk in the center. $30 for this. It's got nice big wheels on it, big hard plastic wheels. I'm out here in a driveway after all, so what I'm going to do now is try this bad boy out. Guys, we've got the downpipe reconnected right here. Got everything put back in, the 2 bolts connecting it, and the 1 bracket bolt. Now the only thing that's left to do is reconnect our downpipe to the rest of the exhaust system with our 2 exhaust clamps. And after that, we're going to fire this puppy up and see how she sounds. We've got our last 2 exhaust hangers right there, tightened down nice. Let's see what she sounds like. Well, the battery died yet again, but this car is nice and quiet now. You can hear a little noise coming out of the muffler for the first time in forever. It's got some good pressure coming out. The only noise that I'm hearing now is coming from right up front here by the where I put my exhaust clamps on, right there. But guys, she's about, I'd say easily 95%, maybe even 100% quieter than it was. I can stand right here and talk at a nice normal tone and not have an exhaust yelling over me. I'm very pleased with the outcome of this. Anyways guys, thanks for sticking around with it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. It's always appreciated. Feel free to comment if you have a better way of doing things or something that you want to see on this channel. We have a front mount intercooler getting ready to go on soon. We have our oil pan swap that we're still going to be doing very, very soon. Obviously, like I said a second ago, the battery tray is going to be getting put together. And I'm going to give you guys a little breakdown on my welder setup and show you what the prices are for everything and how you can start welding at your house with simply a 20 amp breaker plug, regular house plug, and about $150 of your hard-earned money. So if you own a DSM, you're definitely going to want to have a welder on hand. I've wanted to have one since I bought this car, and finally I pulled the trigger and got it. So if you guys liked the video, make sure you subscribe, and as always, until next time, we will see you at today's project guide. Take care.